Well, hello and welcome. I'm Greg. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Greg, and you're watching Oz by Drone. Huh?
No, you're not. You're watching Ready, Set, Drone. The Aussies have finally infiltrated. We seem to be guests on your show.
We were trying to do a simulcast in both chat rooms at the same time because Kelly's got a couple of giveaways and we're going to have people answering a question in one chat room and later in the other one. So make sure you're in both places at the same time.
That's right. We'll have stuff about Wirecast.
Look, we're having fun, and it is a little bit kind of, we've also got internet troubles in Australia always, and the internet, they actually owned up to it again and they said they're going to fix it, but we'll see what's happening. So what's happening for you? What have you been up to this week?
Oh, goodness. Well, I had the opportunity to be co-host on Thursday Night Live last night. That was a lot of fun. Got to meet Ian from the UK, who is a professional drone, not only pilot, but instructor. And then actually, it was funny because Philip and I, before we started, were talking about this week has been rough at work. We've just both had a lot of fun with all the fine folks on the YouTubes. So thank you guys for tuning in. We look forward to this every month.
Indeed.
Indeed. And for me this week, we've just recently had Sydney storm. So I've been driving around and taking the drone out and getting up and taking photographs of roofs for insurance companies. So it's been a lot of flying lately for that one. Anyway, moving on. And now,
very cool. Which do you use?
I'm using the good old Phantom 4 Pro. It's a really, really good drone for doing that kind of work and doing orthomosaic photos and all of that kind of stuff. It works very well. Before we do anything else, I think it's time for the news. So we're having a little bit of combined content, and the news is a segment that we do regularly on our show. And just so people know, we are trying to pull up comments from both shows into the chat box below. So you'll see some messages coming up. If you want to have your message, I would just ask that everyone wish him well and a speedy recovery. He's certainly a regular member of the Oz by Drone family. But let's get into our first story. So this first one is about DJI, and they've particularly moved into agricultural drones. And the story reads, as consumer market for drones slows down, let me get my notes here. There we go. As the consumer market for drones slows down, the Chinese drone maker DJI shifted its focus to agricultural drone applications. Chinese media reported last year that DJI believed that growth for the global market in consumer drones would slow down to below 10% after 2020, while industrial drone sales they believe will continue to double annually. This announcement seems to align with the release of the new software package DJI Terra for mapping and 3D modeling. But what's confusing is that this new software is designed to work with the Phantom series of drones which have been discontinued and no longer manufactured. The question is, what's around the corner to replace the Phantom that will work with the Terra? Kelly, tell me, what's around the corner?
I will say that I understand faster, safer, and easier to put up. So with regard to agriculture, if you think about it, those drones have to lift a lot of weight. So they're going to have to figure out some way to balance the payloads that they need with the size and convenience of something like the Mavic Enterprise platform, I think.
Yeah. Certainly not for agricultural spraying, but for the photography kind of stuff,
Certainly
yeah, absolutely.
For agricultural spraying, but for the photography kind of stuff, yeah, absolutely.
I'm hearing some echo back from you at the moment.
For agricultural spraying, the other... Oh, well, we were trying to add something in. Maybe can you undo that? We have no audio on our stream from you. Is the network the NTI network from your side. We have a video from you, but we don't have audio from you. So we were trying to add it onto our side. But you know what? If anybody's watching on our side, and even if you can't, just go to Greg's channel.
Video on that and leave that live at all times. There you go. We're doing Wirecast troubleshooting again. This is almost the same thing that I was doing with Ken the other day.
Yeah, last night was pretty hectic. There was about 5 minutes where Jeff and I were waiting and we were listening to Greg. Hats off to you, man. You were really cool under pressure.
Yeah, it's all good. I've done a few of those calls with Ken, but at least I was at home on this occasion. One time I was out and about. Anyway, let's move on to the second story. I've titled this one Drone Pole Dancing. As part of the ambitious Smart Cities mission, researchers in the Indian Institute of Science, IISC, have designed charging ports for drones atop streetlights. While this looks good in theory, I'm concerned about the practicalities. If the final solution is not enclosed, will a gust of wind push a drone off its perch? Or if it is enclosed, what kind of size are we going to support? Are we going to support a Tello, or are we going to support an Inspire or something in between? How's that all going to work if it's enclosed?
You know, that actually is something that would make things a whole lot safer, wouldn't it?
Enclosing them on the top?
Enclosing them on the top?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's talks with the FAA to have that a requirement in order to fly over people in the United States. So I think the FAA is along the same lines in that thought.
So I think we actually just got audio on our side. Sorry, Greg, we've actually been tweaking with the audio, and I think we figured out what was wrong. So if you are tuned into Greg's and you dropped off of ours, go back to ours as well. Open them up in 2 different tabs. Mute one. Probably mute ours, because I bet Greg's audio is going to be better than ours. But pay attention, because we have giveaways and the chats are going to happen on both sides.
Yeah. And if we get any echo from me at the moment, I'll tell you what to do. You do the mix minus on that. Investigation found safety had been, quote, much reduced during an incident near Southland. What is disappointing is that, in my opinion, this is another example of a drone scare and not an actual safety incident. The UK Air Prox Board states that the incident happened 5 nautical miles from an aerodrome. Using a standard glide slope for that aircraft, that would be at about 1,500 feet above ground level. So if this is a drone, as they say it was that they sighted, it would, A, be pretty high up. Even more confusing is the pilot claimed to have seen a black drone with 2 red propellers. So if it's a drone and it's got 2 red propellers, how are you going to see the colour of the propellers at an altitude of 1,500 feet and with your descent speed into an airport? So I searched around the internet and I was unable to come up with a photo of a black radio-controlled aircraft with 2 propellers matching that description. It does not exist. So was it a drone or was it not? Now, I've put a photo up here since I couldn't find a drone of that description of a UFO. Now, is it a UFO that we're talking about? I think it's probably a more appropriate description.
You know, I actually think it was probably a Phantom 4 with heron eyes on it, and they were dyed red. That's my guess.
Yeah.
They saw the eyes.
Confuse that for an alien.
Yeah.
Yes, they saw the eyes. Scared like a bird.
Yeah.
Scared away like a bird.
Speaking of fake news, I've got a second fake news story. Last year in news, broadcast journalist Rod Vaughan reported the cause of a plane crash in which he was the pilot, and he said he had a collision with a drone. New Zealand CAA has investigated and confirmed that a drone did not bring down his aeroplane. The actual cause was a failed windscreen. It was a big story in mainstream media at the time when it was first reported, but the correction from the CAA has not been widely reported. How do we will soon blame a drone for catching? He's a news guy by trade. And
so you wanted to sell stories, sell the story.
I would never suggest that the media would do something like that.
All right. Well, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he thought it was a drone, and but who knows? You're right though. The retraction and the correction should be reported.
Yeah.
That never happens in media, though. Never.
Yeah. Usually you hear the first thing and then it's gone.
If anything, they added a little to the story on there.
Australia to enforcing licenses using a drone. Now, there's been quite a bit of talk about this. What we do know so far is that for recreational users, there's going to be a proposed $20 fee or 50 aircraft or whatever. People who are into the hobby, I don't think that's happening. For hobbyists, it's going to be a flat $20 fee in Australia. But certainly if you're in the commercial sector, there's up to, I think it was $160 per aircraft.
Wow. Hey, by the way, Greg, for everyone who doesn't know, including me and Philip probably, what's the exchange rate between US and Australian dollars right now? You know?
xe.com. Let's have a quick.
Talking about $160. Was that US or Australian?
That's Australian, and $160 for people to get that into perspective is $130. Yeah, it's for commercial operators. Yeah, I mean, I know some people that have got a dozen or more drones that they use for commercial operations. So that could be, a significant additional burden for them. So let's move on. We've got a couple more. I've got another one out of Australia. Canberra have been having a look at drone trials for a while. The Australian Capital Territory Planning and Land Authority has approved Wing, which is the name of the company. They've approved Wing's plans for a household delivery drone hangar in Mitchell, ACT, marking another milestone in the tech company's bid to launch its world-first operation in Canberra's north. Wing's delivery drones have stirred controversy earlier this month during trials in the Canberra region, particularly in Bonnython. The high-pitched noise emitted during flights emerged as the most common criticism from locals who complained it caused disturbances to residents, pets and wildlife. Wing has since developed a quieter model drone, which it will roll out for the Gungahlin operation. I don't know how to say that. We're going to play the video and it is quite loud, so apologies.
Oh my! Copy! Mine didn't film at all, fuck.
So that is something that they've been doing a lot of.
Pretty scary sounding.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of trialing with that in Canberra, and I've got some echo, but I'll try and talk with it. They've been trialing that in Canberra, and there's been a lot of conversion of the trial. Maybe they're using the master screw propellers.
No. Quite the opposite. The master screw brings the pitch down, and that just was very, very,
very high pitch.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe in the next trial.
A fantastic job of biting into the air, but there's also that appeal of lower noise.
Indeed.
Certain tires are louder than other tires, right? You've got the big truck, right?
Yeah.
You have loud tires.
And certain tires are more prone to blow too. So
yeah,
you got to think about that.
Very true.
Yeah.
So I would not want that flying around my house.
Yeah. So Amazon have actually done something interesting, and this is their way of tackling the problem. So speaking of noise, Amazon has been working on a drone that can go from a rotor-powered flight into a gas-inflated blimp mid-flight. Maybe this could be what Project Wing should have a look at as a future direction for drone delivery to deal with resident concerns about noise. That is a really cool idea.
It is. And Philip actually can go from being powered to gas-inflated blimp very quickly as well. You just a couple of pieces of pizza.
Yeah, you should smell it here. It's pretty bad.
I was about to say bacon.
we have thank you. I don't know if that's correct or incorrect, but it's
Well, I think it was accurate. So that's the end of the news today. Now, normally at this point is where I would have a guest on my show, but since you're kind of doing the role of guest and of co-host all in one, you wanted to talk about SAW.
I do, absolutely. So SOAR is the company that
I had done an interview with several months back, I would say back in November, October timeframe. Originally, they're a geospatial company, and they're working on building a map of the entire world with not only satellite imagery but drone imagery. So taking it so that you can click in to any satellite image, any latitude and longitude, and actually see drone footage or drone pictures from that area. Now, in order to do that, they actually need people to upload images from lots of different areas. And so they are going to co-host or co-sponsor a contest that I'm announcing right now. So SOAR actually paid for, I bought it, but they paid for it, a DJI Spark with a controller. We are going to give that Spark away at the end of, or actually the 1st of May. Is they're trying to go from several thousand pictures that they have on the SOAR platform right now to a lot more. So the way you enter is you go to SOAR, SOAR.earth. You set up an account. If anybody looked at this before, by the way, it was all based on cryptocurrency, and it was really confusing to do. They've kept that, but it's not a requirement anymore. You can get in without setting up a cryptocurrency account, because that's what you had to do before. Yeah. They can pay you out through. So basically, you go there, set up an account for that latitude and longitude, and find your picture. Now they can view your picture for free, but if they want to download the full resolution version, they actually have to pay you for it. So it's kind of like a stock footage for drones site that also has to do with mapping. It's a weird combination. But if you want to enter this contest to be Mavic DJI Spark, whoops.
Oh, close.
And it's a Ready Set Drone. Yeah, I'm actually going to put Ready Set Drone and a SOAR sticker on it. Okay. It's going to customize it. But what you need to do is you would need to sign up for an account. You would need to be a subscriber to Ready Set Drone. I would also recommend you subscribe to Huseby Drone and to Philip Ulrich, just for fun. Yeah. You would create an account on SOAR. You would upload images to SOAR, and we want you to upload a minimum of 10 images. And these can be any good-looking drone images. We don't want anything out of focus or whatever, but they'll automatically get or they'll get tagged based on the latitude and longitude, and they'll get placed. And then once they're uploaded, SOAR actually goes through, and at this point, because they're still small enough, they are going through and validating and kind of criteria. Once you've done 10, you're officially entered. Now, the more you do, the better off you're going to be to actually enter the contest, because they're going to look at all of these, and their theme is going to be nature from above is what they want it to be. So they're looking for pretty pictures of natural settings. Now, a cityscape might apply if it has, some trees and stuff in the foreground. We aren't quite clear on that yet. Buy the photos, and you'll be able to price the photos. I think they're, it's like 5, 10, 20, 50, 75, or 100 US dollars that people can buy them for, depending on the photo, and you'll get paid. SOAR, of course, will take a cut of that, and I think it's 30% or something like that out of each photo. But, if you're sitting around really pretty pictures of your, it's going to be a criteria. They're not going to take pictures of over the next couple of weeks. And who knows, at the end of the day, if this thing really takes off and you can sort of lay claim to your city, right? Because right now, the only person that has pictures of Austin, Texas on SOAR is me right now. And so Philip might go in and do some, but at the end of the day,
a challenge.
Yeah. Throw it down. All I'm saying is that you have an opportunity, because there aren't a lot of users yet, to actually be some of the first in there. So I hope some people will ask questions in the chat. Philip, if you'll take a look. And Greg, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it sounds
that I was originally going to go to Australia with. They rightly so, I believe. They decided they wanted to gain more critical mass around the platform before they and sort out this whole cryptocurrency thing before they started paying for people to go over there and promoting it, right? Because the problem before is when you signed up for SOAR, you had to set up a cryptocurrency account, and it was pretty complicated to do. Most people would have probably dropped off. Now you don't have to do that anymore. But Greg, to your point, they actually look for photos, enough photos in the same area. So let's say you're flying out in the desert somewhere. If you were to take
just photo after photo of the same area from the same altitude at the same angle, just moving your drone 100 feet each time, they would actually create a map out of that. That's something that people, they might make an orthomosaic map out of that image. So yes, it might be very interesting photos to them. Will it win the best rant? And I'm almost done, but that's their tagline. So by allowing people to sell their photos there, that's a way that they're hoping to reach critical mass.
Okay, it sounds good.
I still have a hard time envisioning how that's going to work once they piece it all together. But I'm curious though, because I'm a part of other stock footage sharing websites. Do you have to have like a model release if you have someone in the photo? Because I know that some places require that.
I would say that's a very interesting question. I would say if you can't distinguish who it is, like if it's taken from a height where you can't see who it is, I would say no.
But if they're like the focus of the photo,
that's not the kind of photos mapping companies.
What if two people?
PM Central Time US stamp.
Okay.
So anyway,
could I just share out of interest?
It's not a stock.
Just out of interest, to Philip's point, something in Australia, privacy and drones and who owns what, and do you need model releases? There was actually a story many years ago of a television or news crew. I can't remember if it was television or print media, but anyway, they approached this sporting venue and said, we want to have access to your thing. And this venue was charging too much money. And they said, you know what, we're going to go and rent a room in the hotel over the road and get our binoculars out the window. And they went and brought the sporting venue, took them to court. Drone is doing something bad. Well, build a bigger fence.
Yeah, that's a very interesting
approach.
Well, and I like it personally because I feel like people who are in public and they just happen to be part of a large wide photo that you take of group of people in Times Square or something. If they're in the background. Okay, they're in a public place. They should expect that sort of thing. But ultimately, for this, again, I think this is more about areas that aren't heavily about that I took that I'm going to upload. We're in West Texas, out in the desert, out there, and even in the fjords in Norway. There's nobody in these pictures. They're just pictures of the fjords. So I'm excited to put those up.
That sounds cool. I don't think I've even seen those yet.
Oh, well, I'll have to show you.
Okay. So look, interesting times. If you're cool, Kelly, I'd like to move on to something else just for a brief moment and have a little bit of fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to play Stump the Yank.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the day where we get to have some fun with our guest. And it's time to play Stump the Yank. Now, you guys don't have the funky music in the background there. You won't have the music on Kelly's channel.
Oh, we can get down to it, though.
Look, I can, if I put my headphone there.
I can.
Which one's harder? Give me the harder one.
You want the harder question.
I'm worried about Kelly's sanity. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I'll give you. Who is Matilda in the Banjo Patterson song "Waltzing Matilda"? And I've got 4 answers for you to pick from. Okay. Who was Matilda? Is it? Okay. Is it a sheep, a swag, a kangaroo, or a gum tree?
It's a gum tree. It has to do with the way the tree moved in the wind. Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. That's all I know.
No.
The channels and such. But I don't know what a swag is in Australian.
Think of it as a big sleeping bag.
Way behind the song. You got to tell us what does that mean? Yeah, why would you waltz with a sleeping bag?
It's talk song written by Banjo Patterson.
You're right. We're stumped. I don't get it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Next question, please.
Next question, and the second and final question. What was the first album to sell more than 1 million copies in Australia? Was it Thriller by Michael Jackson?
I know this one.
Was it Thriller by Michael Jackson? Was it ABBA Gold Greatest Hits? Was it Whispering Jack by John Farnham? Or was it Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen?
Oh, I was going to say Men at Work.
I know that you're fond of us Yanks, so I'd probably say Born in the
Anyway.
What did he do a cover of Waltzing Matilda on that one?
No, he didn't. But speaking of doing covers of Waltzing Matilda, we're waiting.
Okay, let's see. A young somebody sat on the outback and he said, "Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down."
That's a Rolf Harris song.
Waltzing Matilda. How was that?
That was a Rolf Harris song. We don't want to go there. Anyway,
really? Was that a bad thing? Okay. Well, I will be sure to listen to Waltzing and try to really understand it, to grok it, so to speak.
Okay.
We'll have a Barbie afterwards.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now it's time for something that you suggested, and I pressed the wrong button. I'll do the bigger one. Here we go. It's time to play Guess Who.
Okay. Yes. So this was left over from last month. I showed some pictures of myself in various states of undress as a Native American chief, blowing fire and doing other things back when I was fit as a fiddle. But I asked other people to. 6 different people did send me a nice photo. I forgot about this. Sorry. This is somebody that we all, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've just got to leave a little bit of a pause, see if people do guess it in our respective chat rooms. I'm monitoring mine. Who is it?
Yeah. I want to get the chat going, and actually, I had a cheat sheet going. Goodness, where's my?
Well, you don't need the cheat sheet. You should be guessing. You should. No answers, no cheat sheet. I've got the names, and I'll put them up on the screen. You've got to guess.
Well, I got to tell people.
Ah, that's right. You have a backstory. I forgot.
You can't see it, but he ran away. So
let's
He's still looking.
I actually forgot who this was, so that's why I'm freaking out a little bit. Hold on. Okay.
Berwin. Crikey!
Blimey, that's not a plane. This is a plane. Crikey! All right, that is Don Coulter. 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 I don't know if Don's in the chat tonight, but thank you, Don, for sending in that picture. And you can see Don was a RC hobbyist way before being an RC hobbyist was cool. And maybe it's still not cool. Who knows? All right. Who's next?
So who have we got here? What's the backstory?
Anyone? If you know anything about this guy, you know he did do radio for quite some time.
Is this Ken Heron?
It's not Ken. The hair is good, but not as good as Ken's.
Right.
Ken really had. Let's see if anybody gets this one now.
And let me just say that this picture has been shown previously on Ken's show, so the good Ken Heron fans out there should know who it is.
Yes, if you're a big fan of old time radio, you'll know that this is
it's Don Rickles,
Mr. Graphic, Jim Wallace.
And actually, we just had 400 AGL make the guess correctly before you mentioned it. So congratulations, Mr. 400 AGL.
Nicely,
good guess.
Nicely done, Mel. Nice job. All right, that's Jim Wallace. So I hope Jim's in the chat tonight. What do we got next?
Goma
Oh,
Pyle.
an Air Force man. Now, I wouldn't go wrong. He was actually Marine Corps, so don't get those two confused. I will say briefly that this picture was taken while this person was stationed at Lackland Air Force Base, which is in San Antonio, Texas, which is actually where I was born. So it's not my father. But it probably was around the same time my father was there. Maybe a little later.
Hopefully it's not any of your security questions for banking and stuff.
Right.
Can I just say there is a significant change in this person's appearance. Significant.
What they're guessing.
That's what they're guessing.
Yes. Who guessed Mel?
Lloyd Mendenhall.
Lloyd Mendenhall, the grumpy vlogger.
Yes.
Well done.
That is. Well done, Lloyd. Yes, and so I guess Mel was stationed at Lackland Air Force Base back in the day, and boy, he's still a good-looking guy, but you know he hides it behind that beard now. All right, who do we got next?
Okay, I can't see that. The monitor's a bit far away from me.
Yeah, I like this picture. I like this picture because I like the fact that it's a Polaroid being held and taken with a digital picture. It looks pretty cool with a thumb in the picture. So this person was actually a narcotics detective undercover for the New York Police Department in Suffolk County. He worked there for 9 years, and he is retired now. I don't think he's somebody who comments too often, so you may not know his name, but he did send it in. Any guesses?
Can I share?
Well, question for you. You said that he was a narcotics detective. This is probably during your time.
Yes, Go ahead, Greg.
Can I share? Like the picture is fair distance away from me on the monitor over there. The photo of the person below at a distance looked like a troll face hiding someone else, but I had to get up off my seat to actually work out that it was a child there. So apologies, but I thought I'd share my humor.
Well, it's actually a very cute child.
It is cute when you look up.
So he's a narcotics detective undercover. This was during your time. Was that hair? Would that help him fit in with the crowd for narcotics users?
The 70s?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, totally. He was doing himself up like a hippie.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Any guesses in the chat?
Not correct one. Steve is a guess.
It's Ray Kelly. Ray Kelly from America's Finest Foundation. If you go to americasfinestfoundation.org, you will see more information about Ray. But yeah, Ray Kelly was a narcotics officer, and now he's a drone pilot living in North Palm Beach, Florida.
Someone said that was your dad.
Again, it does kind of look like my dad.
Yeah.
There's lots, like my dad is an Air Force man, and my dad later were two different things. All right. This is a guy who actually has been the Ready Set Drone Subscriber of the Month one time, way back in the day. He has a YouTube channel. He plays piano a bit, really well on his YouTube channel, actually. I enjoy his piano pieces. And in this picture, he looks like a real gangster hoodlum. Any thoughts? Any guesses? And I guess maybe there's a little bit of delay between the image and the chat. So yeah, now I just saw it popped up on YouTube.
Okay.
Marty Stouffer, Drone Strike LLC says Marty Stouffer. No, it is not Marty Stouffer.
He looks like a rapper, a white rapper.
He does kind of.
He's got that stance.
Yeah. Any thoughts from you on this, Greg? On this gentleman? With his,
no idea.
Intimidating dog.
No idea on that one. Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla
Ice, baby.
So it's actually Shane, ERV the Johnstons. So if you ever go to, it's We with lots of E's, WEEEE, RV as in recreational vehicle, the Johnstons. That's their YouTube channel, and I think it's Shane Johnston. He and I have chatted quite a bit. He's a great guy. He's way less douchey than he looks like in this picture, at least from what I can tell. And if you like to play, or if you like to hear really cool covers on the piano, he plays like all kinds of Beatles songs and
other pop music on the piano really well.
He does rap, right?
He does not.
Oh.
He looks like all right. And we've got our last one. This one actually, speaking of rap and rock, dressed up as Billy Idol in 1992. Now, I'll wait to see if anybody guesses who this is before I give any hints.
But this is a cool photo.
It is a really cool photo. I agree. What's the chat saying?
No, it's not there.
Give
yet.
it some time. This one
we're
I'd
still
like.
waiting on
Yeah,
chat.
it's about a 20-second delay.
Yeah, let's see if anybody can get. Anybody on your chat that you're seeing, Greg?
Not at the moment.
Looks like we got the winner, Lloyd Mendenhall. On our side.
Wait, Lloyd Mendenhall just nailed it. Who'd he say?
Ice Bike.
Nice, Lloyd. Lloyd guessed Ice Bike, and yeah, I mean you can tell the fury from down under right there.
Yeah, so there we go.
Greg, have you and Ice Bike ever met in real life?
In the middle of no.
Well, I do hope to make it there sometime and meet both you guys in real life. Spike seems like he told me he would give me a ride on one of his souped up motorcycles or tricycles that he has.
Just 1 second. There's a weird thing. Don't hit exit. Hit OK. Something came up on the screen in front of us. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you still look good here.
Hang on. Just wait a second. I'm just going to have a look. No, it looks like a Wirecast error.
Well, while we're waiting, I hear that New Zealand is better than Australia.
Yes. Well, actually, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We're gonna add to the fuel that's already there. So how about if we give some stuff away, Greg? What do you think?
Give some stuff away? Did you say give some stuff away?
Yeah.
Okay, let me press that button.
Give some stuff.
Whoa.
Away.
Okay, time for some giveaways. Who's going to win
All right,
something?
So the way we're going to do this, is Greg has come up with a question for the viewers in my chat to win. Hold on, let me grab it. Sorry, I should have this prepared. A Ready Set Drone Frisbee. It's actually a Discraft disc because the word Frisbee is copyrighted. And this one is, you have to answer on my chat, on the Ready Set Drone chat, in order to win. But Greg's going to ask the question. So, Greg, what's the question so a viewer can win? And remember, you have to chat this in the Ready Set Drone chat in order to win.
Okay. And just a reminder, people, if you're watching Ready Set Drone,
plate 2 times.
Yeah, if you're in the Ready Set Drone chat, jump into the Huseby Drone chat ready for the next question as well. So anyway, the first question answering in the Ready Set Drone chat is, who invented the Frisbee?
Who invented the Frisbee? And the first person to get it right wins this Ready Set Drone Frisbee. You got to keep an eye out.
Did you say we were looking for all 3 names?
Yes, it's a first, middle, and last name required. So you can't just do first and last. We need first, middle, and last name. Both the backhand, the forehand, the hammer, and the push pass. All of those.
I just thought
Frisbee is near and
I'd
dear to my heart.
Mark Sutton, you're close. Oh, there it is. Mark Sutton is the winner.
Mark Sutton.
Sutton.
Invented.
I know when that guessed that, but it was 1948.
Nice.
And by the way, I feel a bit of a connection.
Frisbee was actually a pie tin. Oh yeah.
I feel a bit of a connection. That's my middle name, Morrison. So he must be in my blood.
All right. Well, that's very cool. So, what about what about your giveaway? I have a question for that. Should I just go ahead and ask it?
Yeah. So for people who want to win the second prize, do you want to say what the prize is first?
Yes, the second prize is a set of 4 Master Air Screw props for either the Mavic Air or the Mavic Pro.
And you did a video on these, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, if you want to know about these Master Air Screw props, go to Ready Set Drone and you can check out the video that published today. And there's
they're cool. They definitely, there's a few little things about them, a few little gotchas that I talk about. But if you win, it'd be great if you're an owner of a Mavic Air or a Mavic Pro.
Shipping fees in Antarctica, right? Someone's just going to say they live there.
I just shipped a box with 5 FPV drones to England for a school over there, and I have to say the shipping was almost more than the value of the drones.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so the question here is, if you watched the video, and you have to answer this, by the way, on Greg's channel on Oz by Drones, so you need to be logged into his chat. If you answer in our chat, it doesn't count. If you watched the video today, what was that flight difference in time?
Ooh. Was it less or more?
And I was looking for the DJI time and then the master airscrew time, and it says it very clearly in the video. So I need 2 different times, a minute and second for each of those 2. And answer.
Can we just before you do that, I just restarted my stream because it was doing some bad things again. So let's just restate the question again one more time in case people missed it.
The question was, in the video review of the master airscrew propellers, name the 2 times that I got for flying with the DJI propellers and then the master airscrew propellers. Give us the 2 different times, meaning the flight times that I noted. And the first person to name those 2 flight times wins a set of 4.
So I'm looking and I can see that one of the numbers appears correct. Are you looking for the difference, the subtraction, or are you looking for the 2 numbers?
I'm looking for the 2 different times.
Okay.
There's a graphic actually in the video that says the 2 different times.
So someone's got one of the times. 2, right?
We're looking at your chat as well. Wait, somebody just.
That doesn't say what you said.
This was rounded up though, so I'll take one. I'll take that as well.
All right, Mark's Drone Works. So that was actually the same Mark on our channel, but
Really?
he was logged in with a different account. So he won both.
So Mark Sutton won both.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, Mark, way to go. So is it Mark's Drone Works? Is his channel? Okay.
Mark's Drone Works.
Hey, Mark, way to go. Be sure you've subscribed to Ready Set Drone and to Oz by Drone and to Philip Ulrich. Philip.
Comment on that. Yes, Telstra is my internet provider. If everyone watching would love to call Telstra and tell them fix the internet in Sylvania, that would be really, really helpful.
Wow. Well, sorry to hear that, but guys, this has been a lot of fun. It's so part of the reason we did this was because we happened to overlap on our time slot tonight. But it sounds like do you have daylight savings time, Greg? Is that what's coming up?
So we're on daylight saving now, and it finishes this weekend, this Sunday. So this is the last and only time this year that this happens. Maybe 6 months from now when we change, there might be a week again. Who knows? We'll worry about that when we get there. But, after this weekend, I think we will be after your show, whereas we used to be before your show.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the water flows this way instead of...
A plane. I'm heading to Korea. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to be flying a drone to go and visit Kim Jong-un. I'll be flying, though. I will be flying, but not that close to the border. Going with my family and having a lot of fun over there. Next weekend specifically, though, I'm going to do a quick live stream from my mobile at the airport, have a bit of fun on the way out, and each other weekend, not exactly.
It's tasty.
Oh, come on. But as long as you have soju with it when you're having Korean barbecue, then it's real.
As long as you have what with it?
Soju.
Like Soldier Boy? Is that what?
Well, yeah, what is soju?
Soju is an alcoholic beverage. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
You'll forget everything the next day.
Well, have a few of those and then give us your live stream. We can't wait to see you with a barbecue. So,
sorry, not to drones, to aircraft in general. We've also had a little bit of controversy where I've been annoyed by people shooting drones down and our regulators don't do anything about it. Well, this is a picture of the reverse. This is a picture of an aircraft shooting lasers at the crowd and the audience down below, and a few other things as well at the Avalon Air Show. Check it out, and it's been fun doing this simulcast together. For anyone who's watching, I'm going to re-upload a copy of this with no buffering, even that.
You guys have fun and have a safe vacation.
Okay, let's play the video.